Good afternoon, and welcome to Brock's 105th Convocation ceremonies. Just a reminder to please turn off your cell phones during the ceremony. Live captioning for this ceremony is also available at brocku.ca/captioning. We now ask that you remain seated as the graduands enter the gymnasium. Before we begin, please take a moment to enjoy this brief video. We'll proceed in just a couple of minutes. Please rise at the sounding of the fanfare for the academic and Chancellor's procession as they enter the gymnasium.
Please be seated. Convocation for the conferring of degrees and certificates in session. Chancellor Chichu, Dr. Fearon, platform guests, graduating students, parents, and friends. Welcome to Brock University's Spring Convocation. A time of land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, many of whom continue to live and work here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledging reminds us that our great standard of living is directly related to the resources and friendship of Indigenous people. It is my pleasure this afternoon to introduce from Vice Chancellor and President of Brock University, Dr. Greg Finn, Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Michelle Weber, Mace Bearer and Brock University Senate and Associate Vice President Academic, Dr. Anna Lathrop, Vice Provost, Teaching, Learning, and Student Success, Dr. Diane DuPont, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, Dr. Christopher Fullerton, recipient of the Brock University Faculty of Social Sciences, and Mr. Chris Ventura, Brock University Alumni Association. Joining them on stage are university senators, faculty, staff, and student representatives from across the university. I would ask them to also please stand together. Please be seated. I now invite Chancellor Chichu.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the drummers for their song. I want to acknowledge the traditional territories of the many nations that I am standing on. I am honored to be part of this ceremony. The alumni, proud parents and family members, and most importantly, members of the graduating class of 2019. I welcome you to this graduation ceremony to celebrate all the achievements that have brought you here today, and to all that you will achieve in the years to come. It is a special honor for me to be with you, come to an end of a long journey. This ceremony tells you and your families that you are now prepared to begin another journey to achieve future goals. I would like to say that when I was your age, the workplace communication was so much different than what it is today. I think that computer with headphones on, concentrating on completing our work for the day. This does not give any time to socialize with coworkers. Who doesn't like anyone that makes them laugh? The last is a great way to make friends at work, and it could create a positive image for you. You will be more approachable and be the light in the office where your coworkers will feel they're actually relieving stress. If you do not know a joke, has seen the video and getting back to work, this releases stress and you will all be more productive. You can brainstorm ideas and able to think out of the box. You may think that being a jokester in a workplace that people will not take you seriously, or you might offend someone. It as a risk taker and has more confidence. These people can likely be chosen for more leadership role or an executive position in a company. Humor can be a great icebreaker, and it can tear down those walls. Relationships with coworkers is a technology break down our lives. It has brought us to a place where it is not fun at a workplace anymore. Humor will improve overall performance for the whole company. Employees will support each other and often forget to laugh and have fun. We seem to be trapped in our own little cocoons. You have the power to make change and bring back that old but amazing past way of working together as a team, leaders, and innovators. If you use this method of humor in your day-to-day lives, you will be supporting your obstacles. But if you respect advice from family, mentors, and elders, you will overcome anything together. Sometimes we forget to thank those people closest to us. Do not forget about those people that sacrificed and did everything for you to be where you are today. I have a son that graduated, and I know how each of your parents are proud or how much they love you. It's because they can't. But believe it, because it shows in every single person's face in this room. This is the most important day in their lives, as they know they did something right. I want to say congratulations to all the graduates. Congratulations to all your parents. Now, I have the great pleasure in declaring this graduation and awards ceremony open. Miigwech.
I would now like to invite Dr. Gervin Fearon, Brock University's President and Vice Chancellor, to deliver opening remarks.
Well, I think you would share with me that we've got a beautiful, beautiful sunshiny day outside and inside here. We've got fantastic smiles and a sense of accomplishment that permeates the entire space. I think as we sit and contemplate the ceremony and as we contemplate the statements from our Chancellor, what we can celebrate together is the amazing accomplishment that's been had. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations. Well, hello, Brock graduates, family members, friends, and dignitaries, all. I'd like to extend a warm Brock welcome to all of you for this proud moment and the proud supporters and family members and friends who've come to be part of this very special ceremony today. Today, we celebrate our graduates and their hard work and dedication. Today, we also recognize and give recognition to their loved ones and friends and supporters who've been part of their journey and have supported them and encouraged them along each step of the way in their educational processes. Your Brock experience has involved many items. Just to list a few, you've experienced and gained from outstanding teaching and scholarship, research excellence, opportunities in experiential and co-op education, community engagement, all of which have been a part of forging the skills, knowledge, and values you will use in your future leadership and success initiatives. Our graduates are getting the jobs today while also being poised for the careers of the future. Brock students graduate with the skills, knowledge, and innovative thinking needed to support economic and business competitiveness, community development and growth, social justice, job creation, and prosperity throughout the region. And I think it goes without saying that we have students here at the university from right across the entire globe. And many of the students graduating today will be a part of the activities of many nations, not just Canada. And what they've learned here will go out and forge new relationships for us all that we'll all benefit from. As I describe these elements, I think it's important for us to recognize that what I'm describing is Brock. Brock, it's your university, and I'm so proud to see so many of you today graduating from this wonderful institution. Well, I think it also goes without saying that you would agree with me that there have been many supporters and individuals who've contributed to your accomplishments. Certainly, you would agree that your family members and friends and supporters that you're directly acquainted with have been a part of this. But there are other supporters that have been a part of your success, and they include, of course, dedicated faculty and staff members, motivated alumni and donors, forward-thinking members of the Board of Trustees and Senate, as well as community members. I'm also really proud that we have today in our platform, and I'd actually ask them to stand. They don't know this, but I'm going to ask them. The president of our BUSU, our Student Association, Student Union, as well as the president of our Graduate Student Association. Let's recognize them both. This is certainly symbolic that a university is a community, and the entire Brock community has provided the foundation for launching your future right here from this platform today. We're also joined today by donors who have generously supported and contributed to student scholarships that have helped many individuals complete their academic program and have enabled them to cross this very stage here at Convocation today. Dear graduates, I hope that when it's your turn, that you too will be able to set the kind of example that so many of our donors and supporters have done in providing scholarships and awards for our students. And let's take a moment for recognizing our donors and supporters. Graduates, today we recognize and celebrate your accomplishments in completing and achieving the degree requirements for graduation. Your education and experience here at Brock have provided you with the capability to be engaged citizens, critical thinkers, and innovative members of society. You will contribute to the betterment of individuals and the transformation of communities and the leadership, not only of Canada and this region, but countries right across the globe. But equally important, you'll be contributing to others, and in that way, you'll be contributing to the betterment and the possibilities of humanity. I believe all of us would also share the thought that in Canada, we see success and prosperity, and we can attribute those results to the ability of us all working together in support of the betterment, the reconciliation, and the future of others, and more broadly, a wonderful and outstanding world before us. Yet, I think it's also true that you would agree with me that our work is not yet done. We are still striving for prosperity and possibility in areas such as health and wellness, the environment, the pursuit of peace and shared prosperity more generally, social harmony, reconciliation and understanding, and even education at a global level. As I look at each of you as graduates and graduates here today, it's to recognize the opportunities that Brock has provided in support of your post-secondary educational opportunities and future. The future will be shaped by many factors and many things. To just mention a few, of course, climate change, artificial intelligence, and so many other factors and items that are still emerging. We're still working to ensure that individuals have a sense of belonging and connectedness. And we know that this sense of belonging must extend across communities, across individuals, to ensure that we have a sense of shared humanity. What I can tell you, though, for those of you in the audience, is that if you came to the university on any day and walked through the halls and just looked at how our students are working together and learning together and coming up with new possibilities, that you would have the confidence that I have that they will make a significant difference in their world. As graduates, you're now prepared to participate and assist in the building of great communities, whether here in the Niagara region or right across the country or globe. I look forward to your engagement with the university in the future as well. I also look forward to seeing the fantastic things that you will do in the future. On your special day, to each of you, I say congratulations. Congratulations to you, to your supporters, to your friends, to your family, to all those who have been a part of your journey. And for you and for Brock University, it is indeed such a special, special day for us all to celebrate. Merci, miigwech, thank you.
Dr. Christopher Fullerton, Associate Professor in the Department of Geography and Tourism Studies, holds a PhD in Geography from the University of Saskatchewan, a Master's in Urban and Regional Planning from Queen's University, and a BA Honors Geography from Nipissing University. An accomplished researcher, he has published extensively in journal articles, book chapters, edited books in areas of rural tourism, rural economic community development, the wine industry in Niagara, and public transportation. Significantly, he has demonstrated an extensive commitment to his students, having completed over 20 publications, book chapters, and conference proceedings with his students at the undergraduate, the graduate, and the postdoctoral level. Since arriving at Brock in 2001, Professor Fullerton has participated as a supervisor, committee member, external reviewer in over 40 student thesis projects. Dr. Fullerton is an exceptional and experienced teacher, mentor, and supervisor who has won numerous awards for developing novel courses that provide flexibility and experiential opportunities for students at all levels. He exemplifies our commitment to a kind of learning that takes students out into the wider community. They've gone to such places as Crystal Beach, Fort Erie, the town of Pelham, Horseshoe Falls, Herndon Estates, Peterborough Downtown Transit Terminal. As an example of an impact on these experiences, I'd like to read a brief excerpt from a colleague, a professor at the Department of Geography in the program in Planning, about Professor Fullerton's student experience. Quote, "I want to thank you for your wonderful contribution to this urban geography field trip. The students enjoyed the Niagara Fall tour and the geography along the parkway. They were also intrigued by Niagara on the Lake. Your detailed knowledge of the Niagara region and your enthusiastic engagement with them left a lasting impression," unquote. In addition to the award he's receiving this afternoon, we've recently learned that Professor Fullerton is the recipient of the university-wide Chancellor's Chair for Excellence in Teaching for his project entitled Benefits and Challenges of Experiential Education in Geography and Tourism Studies. But for now, I would like to invite Associate Professor Christopher Fullerton from the Department of Geography and Tourism to receive the Brock University Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching. Congratulations. Madam Chancellor, I take pleasure in calling on Professor Fullerton to deliver the convocation address. Get my stuff. Thank you.
Well, I can tell you, it's a lot more fun being in here for this event than for exams, isn't it? One year, I was running 2 different sections of Geography 1F90, which is our first-year introductory to entry geography course, and it basically filled this entire gym with students writing exams, so it was pretty intense. So this is a much happier moment. So greetings, Chancellor Chitu, President Fearon, my fellow faculty and staff, and of course, most importantly, given the reason we're here, to all of you who are graduating today. So hello to you, and also to your family and friends who are out there in the audience. And parents, I just want you to know right from the start, you've raised some pretty awesome kids. And you know, it's kind of strange for me to even be up here receiving a university teaching award. I was an incredibly shy kid as a child and even as a teenager, so much so that, and I shouldn't be saying this publicly in the world of YouTube, but I was even afraid to go into I was even too shy to go into the high school cafeteria at lunchtime. I was just that incredibly shy. So for now, when I talk to my family and friends and say that I'm teaching classes with as many as 500 students in a big lecture hall, they're pretty much in disbelief. But I can tell you that I think what's happened to me in my life is testament to one of the pieces of advice I'd like to share with you all today, especially those, of course, of you who are graduating, is to try and discover and follow your passions. Okay? Those who know me today would still describe me as being a rather quiet and introverted person, but that quickly changes when I start a lecture or when I get into another situation where I get to talk about geography. So buckle up, because you caught me on a good day. All right, so I don't have a lot of time, but what I'd like to do today is just reflect on my teaching career so far and my teaching philosophy, and then to translate all of this into a bit of advice for you who are graduating as you leave here in about an hour or two as Brock University graduates. At the risk of oversimplification, studying human geography is largely about making sense of the world and how the world works, and how well people's needs are met in particular places. And then using this knowledge to help make these places better so that the lives of the people living there are improved as well. And not just some of the people, everyone. So essentially, we study a lot of the things that you would have also studied in other social sciences disciplines that are here today. We especially emphasize the place-based dimensions of these topics. So we're interested in things like environmental sustainability, social justice and equality, and the pursuit of balanced economic development. So to put it simply, we're especially concerned with improving the quality of places, because by doing so, we think we can also improve the quality of life enjoyed by those living there. And that's the heart of geography. And so for me, my passion has always been geography, especially in the areas, in my case, as Dr. Macca said, in the areas of transportation and community planning, both urban and rural. Even before I knew this was called geography, I was fascinated by the world around me. And so for the past 18 years, my passion has also been teaching geography. But it wasn't always this way. My career ambitions have changed over time, and I've moved from place to place, and I've earned a more extensive education, as I've just gotten older with more life experience. But they've all been very geographical in nature. As a kid, I wanted to be a City of Ottawa bus driver. I desperately wanted to be an OC Transpo driver. And then the nerd of me took over, and I wanted to be the general manager of Ottawa's public transit system instead of a driver. And then, of course, my interests evolved, and I wanted to be a geography teacher, a city planner, an economic development officer, and then ultimately I decided I'd like to try becoming a university professor. So that was a long time ago. So I arrived at Brock in the fall of 2001, and I was pretty fortunate because most of the courses that I taught were related to my own research or to my previous professional employment experience in the world of economic development up in northern Manitoba or in southern Saskatchewan. Over the first few terms working at Brock, I worked with a great group of students. I had a wonderful cohort to start me off here, a great group of colleagues in my department, and with their help I learned what worked, what didn't work as far as my teaching and the students' learning was concerned. And I particularly enjoyed meeting with students during my office hours to talk about the topics at hand, and was pleased that so many students were interested enough in the things I was teaching to take the time to come see me and talk about them. Then, after a few years at Brock, I received a thank you card. It was about my third year here. A thank you card that really hit home to me about the importance of my teaching to my students. And I'm going to read to you, without naming the individual, who has in fact gone on to an incredibly successful career in the public transit industry. But here goes. So this person wrote to me in the card, "By the very nature of the job, an educator changes a student's life, but it's said that everyone will find a certain one that inspires them. Whether you know it or not, you have been that educator in my life. During my time in your classes, I have experienced a prof that cares about his students and expects their best effort for each piece of work. Out of class, you always had time to answer questions or offer advice, and you were always sensitive to life issues I was dealing with. It was a combination of your high expectations, your care, and my respect for you as a prof and as a man that has made me put that extra effort into your classes. And this has not only carried over into my other classes, but into other areas of my life. In short, many thanks for all you have done for me and for helping me become a better person." Wow, right? It's pretty powerful stuff, and it was just so incredibly fulfilling on that day to receive that card from that student as they went off into the real world after graduating. So I knew I was really enjoying the teaching component of my job up to that point, but I didn't think that it hadn't really occurred to me before receiving that card exactly how much responsibility we as professors truly have in terms of our words and our actions and how influential these can be to our students, and that this can carry well beyond the classroom. So from that moment, I found myself trying harder and harder to develop courses and to develop assignments that would help my students develop not only as geographers, but as human beings. So something I've really liked at Brock that's been fairly recent is its adoption of the motto, "Experience Matters." This could really be my own motto, as Dr. Macca said, as it relates to my own personal teaching philosophy. Having worked out there in the real world for a few years between each of my degrees gave me the benefit of understanding what the job search process is like for our students, what the work of geographers is like on the front lines and in real communities, and in my case, as I said, this was in northern Manitoba and in Saskatchewan. And this practical experience of my own really influenced my desire to help my students leave Brock with a realistic understanding of how the world works and with the knowledge and skills that match what employers are looking for in fields related to geography. So in my teaching, I want my students to see the world, to experience the world, and to become more sympathetic, empathetic, and compassionate people. I firmly believe that if we take the time to learn more about the places where contentious issues are unfolding and the lives of the people who live there, we will have a much better context in which to make decisions about the policies we support or do not support on issues that might range in scope from international refugee and humanitarian crises all the way through to a smaller scale, such as a debate about providing public transit service in a particular neighborhood. It's a little inside joke. for some of my students. And so this has involved a whole lot of documentary films, lots of field trips, internships, community-based assignments, community events, and all kinds of other applied learning for my students. And so winning this award today and my being here to share some advice with you, which I'll start into in a minute, comes after 18 years of working really hard to make sure that I help my students prepare for the world out there, not only as part of the labor force, but also as part of society, as conscientious citizens. So if you're wondering where I'm finally going, and I know I'm going to be pushing my time, here's my advice. I've got a couple of sets of advice for you on this one of probably the most important days of your life. So first of all, as you can imagine, I would recommend that you try your best to discover and follow your passions. Not everyone can do this, it depends on your circumstances, but think hard about what you really love to do. You've got several decades in the workforce ahead of you and even more in terms of your overall lives. So try to find a job where you truly love going to work every day. Like I said earlier, my career ambitions changed considerably over the first 29 years of my life, and I've been very fortunate that after a lot of moving around from job to job and place to place, I found my true calling and absolutely love coming to work every day here at Brock. So some of you have already discovered your passions, but if you don't feel you have, keep looking. And in the end, I hope you'll be able to find what you truly love to do and then work to excel at that. The second thing is, from a geographer, help to make the world a better place. Inform yourselves, try to empathize or at least sympathize and to show compassion for others. Right now, we're witnessing a decline in community engagement in favor of more solo activities. We've got declining levels of empathy in favor of more adversarial thinking in the world, or at least a greater level of indifference. So how do we combat these trends if we want to? Well, to me, it's a matter of making the conscious effort to be more curious about the world, to observe the world around you, to think about how it would feel to be in other people's shoes, especially people whose lives are quite different from your own, and then think about how you can help to make these places better or people's lives better. So one thing is to see the world. Leave that 905-416 bubble, as I call it. So many of us have come from Southern Ontario and haven't really left this part of the world, and we need to see more of the country. So when I moved out to Western Canada, I was amazed to discover how broad this country and how diverse its cultures and peoples and economies really are. It's also important that you never stop learning. Whether you're looking at topics ranging from refugees to reconciliation, or issues happening in places anywhere from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe, always inform yourselves about these issues. And just like when you've been writing all those essays over the last 4 or 5 years, make sure you're doing so through reliable sources. Then you will be able to empathize and sympathize with others and to show genuine compassion. As I say so often in my classes, we all just want to be happy and have a good life. And so if we have the power through whatever means to help make this happen for other people, why wouldn't we do so? And then finally, use your many talents for good. You guys are all graduating here today with a massive skill set. And these are going to be critical for you to find good, fulfilling careers, of course, but there's nothing to stop you from using those skills for other things that are perhaps more altruistic in nature. Be a part of your community. You're leaving here with such immense skill sets with which you can do so much more than just your formal jobs. You could serve on local committees as a member of a charitable organization. You can serve on local government. You can initiate or sign issue-specific petitions. And you can also help to shape the future of your community as a voter at the various levels of government. And by engaging in your community, you can help to make these places better. That is, by engaging in the community, you're improving the quality of place there and potentially the quality of life of those living there. I'm going to give you a very, very quick example of something little that I did that, to me, sort of emphasizes how this can work, and sometimes it doesn't take a lot of effort. I live across the 406 from here in Thorold in the Windsorberry neighborhood, and for years living there, there was no park. There was no park for the kids. There was just a park further away. We had a big field that was designated as a retail space, but it was just sitting stagnant. So over the years, people were talking about how we really needed the park in the neighborhood, and so my wife Cheryl suggested to me, why don't you do a petition and go door to door and ask the city to put a park in the neighborhood? So I thought, oh, why not? I might as well. I went door to door throughout the neighborhood. I got about 100 names, which was almost every house in our little subdivision. And I sent it to the local council with a cover letter, and they brought it to the budget council meeting at the city of Thorold. And that very night, like about a week after I did this petition, they agreed to build the park. And so now if you drive by the corner of Winterberry Boulevard and Richmond Street, there's the park that we all work towards. And it just took something like a petition, a few hours of my time to make it happen. And now if you go there, that park is a hub of activity pretty much every day of the week. So just to close, and I apologize for going a little longer, but I think this is all very important stuff to share with you. I need to thank a few people as the winner of this award. So to the many great teachers I've had in the past in Ottawa and in Kemptville, Ontario, especially Mr. Hal Williamson, who was my geography teacher throughout high school and was essentially somewhat of a hero to me. And then to all my professors as I've gone through my various degrees that Dr. Mack has outlined. Also, I need to thank my family, including my wife Cheryl, my daughters Grace and Ava, and my son Ansel for their patience. I've gone on lots of field courses, research trips, lots of conferences, and I spent lots of evenings at home grading exams and papers, and so they've been very patient through that. To my mom in Ottawa, thank you for unknowingly kickstarting my amazement at the world around me and my passion for geography when we lived in that city back in the 70s. And then, finally, they say it takes a village to raise a child. And I'd say the same goes for your development as undergraduate and graduate students in our little Brock village that we've got here in this beautiful Niagara setting. I have played a small part in many of your educations, and I'm very humbled to have been able to do that. But as a recipient of the Teaching Award, I think I also need to thank the hundreds of Brock colleagues with whom I've worked over those 18 years, including my departmental colleagues in Geography and Tourism Studies and in the Environmental Sustainability Research Center, and then also people in units like the Center for Pedagogical Innovation, the James Gibson Library, Co-op Careers and Experiential Education, Audiovisual, even Custodial Services, to name a few. Everything that we've done for you has been a team effort, not just the professors in the classrooms, and so I think we really need to thank them. And finally, to the thousands of students whom I've had the privilege of teaching over the past 18 years, thank you very much. I truly believe I have the best job in the world because you make my job more enjoyable than you can ever imagine. So I'll end things off. I have 2 paragraphs left. I will end things off by returning the focus to you as you celebrate what I'm sure will be one of the most important moments of your lives. 2 years ago, Professor Tim Murphy from the Department of Psychology won this award, and he had some fantastic advice that was really so simple but so true. He said, be a good person. That was his main piece of advice on winning the award. Simple, right? And that still holds true today, and I hope you'll take it with you. So thank you all for your attention. Thank you, all of you in the class of 2019, for making Brock such a great place, and we wish you well as you move on. My sincerest congratulations on all that you've achieved. Fortunately for you guys, there's no hockey or basketball game tonight, so you can actually celebrate without having to keep your eyes on the TV or your phones. But remember, when this celebrating is done, please do 2 things. Find and follow your passions, and use your skills and knowledge to help make the world a better place. Thank you very much.
Well, I know there are moments for which everyone will become active, and it'll be active because some will be cheering, and a number of you will be walking across the platform to be able to move from graduates to graduates. So with that, will the candidates for the various degrees and certificates please rise? With the degrees and certificates about to conferred upon you, there comes a certain expectation that you will continue sincerely in the pursuit of learning and truth, and that as far as in you lies, you will promote the interests and welfare of your university. Do you acknowledge the expectation? Madam Chancellor, as the candidates have acknowledged the responsibilities that accompany their degrees and certificates, and as they have successfully completed the courses of study prescribed by Senate, I would ask that you admit them to their several degrees and certificates.
I admit you to all your several degrees and certificates. Please be seated.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Doctor of Philosophy.
Joshua David Mark Black. Kevin Gregory Mulville.
I now ask the university's newest PhDs to join their faculty colleagues on stage. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Master of Applied Disability Studies.
Erzu Alami. Sarah Altimari. Kmark Antazo. Daniel Blanchfield. Michaela Grace Dichter Bunn. Alexandra Campbell. Megan Amanda Kessier. Giverny Charlebois. Sydney Chasty. Danielle Beryl Clement. Kennedy Amanda Colasanti. Erica Darpino Scarloni. Lauren Alyssa Davis. Taylor Lexi Dayton. Jessica Ann Fabienne. Amy Fang. Tamar Nicole Finkelstein. Nicole Rosemary Flanagan. Katrina Lynn Frazel. Rupinder Kaur Gill. James Alexander Hamilton. Shannon Marie Hines, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Applied Disability Studies.
My middle name is
Morgan Neve Henry, Kelly Lynn Hogan. Cheyenne Marie Howard, Melissa Hyde. Phoeba Kotri, Karen Lahai. Joseph Levin, Janine Moffett. Lily Naga, Julia Elizabeth Nicholson. Vicky Nicolacacco, Catherine Emily Oak. Elizabeth Roxana Palma Montenegro, Tanya Paveleko. Jessica Pero, Nicole Pinto. Shore Perazina, Navdeep Kaur Sahoto. Ritu Saini, Jessica Ivy Sanderson. Stephanie Danielle Scarlett, Nicole Alexandra Shepard. Megan Elizabeth Smith, Alexandra Squizzato. Andrea Michelle Stewart, Kimberly Elise Tithacott. Jillian Marie Togertz, Karen Tobelschak. Stacy Marie Tesodos, Rosalind Trier.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Master of Arts.
Blair Janelle Butler, Robin Denise Cummings. Budon Filipowicz, Ashley Sophia Marie Grover, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Social Justice and Equity Studies. Sarah Herm, Evgenia Ignatova. Kaylee Kelly, Shannon Kitchings, recipient of the Jack M. Miller Excellence in Research Award. Sananu Kawazi Kutar, Patrick Lawler. Brittany Marie McLean, Jermaine Burchell Marshall, Joshua Martin, Catherine McHugh, Emily Murphy, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Child and Youth Studies. Raluca Nuutsa. Joshua Waterton, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Critical Sociology.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Master of Business Economics.
Valentine Davidov, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Business Economics. Connor Jacobchuk. Joshua Robert Wyatt. Grant Cullen Yake.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Master of Sustainability.
Tasnuva Offreen, Leah Amy. Allison Rebecca Feast, Benjamin David House. Sylvia Amefa Hussein, Emily Jobin Poirier, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Master of Sustainability. Yuka Kataoka, Zachary McMillan.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Bachelor of Arts honors.
Sarah Albanese, Stephanie Alsay. Marta Victoria Alvarez Mija, Colton Joseph Elzio Ambrosio. Kevin Kwaku Bene, William Andrew Beveridge. Madeline Francis Biggs, Camilo Brandonigio. Samantha Christine Brinton with first class standing. Abigail Ashworth Burns. Orion Matthew Cameron. Margaret Ellen May Carmichael. Farhan Chaudhry. Cindy M.H. Chen. Mackenzie Edward Cole. Hannah Collings with first class standing. Remnique Diol. Stephen Devitt. Jessica Dirksen with first class standing, recipient of the Dean's Medal and Distinguished Graduate Student Award, Applied Linguistics. Alexander James Doe. Matthew Parker Durham. Scott Donald Ross Easterbrook with first class standing, recipient of this Distinguished Graduating Student Award, Political Science. Charles Ellingham with first class standings, Tian Feng. Yilin Feng, Elizabeth Catherine Fuller. Stardust Fife, Jing Gao. Matthew Jerwa, Kiana Faith Gervais. Alexis Hollyann Gibbons, Rochelle May Quinto Godoy with first class standing. Jonah Graham with first class standing, recipient of the Distinguished Graduating Student Award, Tourism and Environment. Sam Nicholas Greenlaw with first class standing. Megan Ella Hanna. Julia Christina Harvey with first class standing, recipient of the Distinguished Graduating Student Award, Political Science. Keenan David Jones Howell with first class standing, Hugh Chen Zhu. Diana Hun, Sebastian Anthony Ione. Sarama Iweezer. Adrian Page Jackson. Brenner Tate Jacobs, Curdy Jaga. Hannah Lee Jacob, Austin Lee Jensen. Xiao Zhijin with first class standing, Tarun Kataria. Catherine Marie Kennedy with first class standing, Sarah Kraft with first class standing. Rebecca Joy Crawlis, Bridget Laura Quackernack. Megan Cecile Lagois, Gabrielle LaHaye with first class standing. Lucas Paul Lalonde with first class standing, Mary Lapp. Glenn Michael McFarlane with first class standing, recipient of the Distinguished Graduating Student Award, Geography, and the Department of Geography Graduating Prize. Jasmine Anisha Mastracci with first class standing. Silvana Ann Mastranari, Mamudu Mbinga. Brooke Lynn McIntosh, Michaela Christina Magilio. Dominic James Vincent Mariano, Peter Michael Merritt with first class standing. What's the first name? Colin James Daniel Maroney, Ayomare Semasola Osho. Sabrina Elizabeth Pellegrino, Dana Rita Caterina Pervico. Evelyn Fernanda Pizantes. Annalisa Maria Coronada. Zoya Rajput. Alexandra Lynn Riley with first class standing. Dylan Barrett Root. Jacob Lloyd Ross with first class standing, recipient of the Distinguished Graduating Student Award, Economics. Cameron Charles Rotes, Monica Elizabeth Ryan. Lucas Adam Salazar Reed, Hannah Margaret Sarley with first class standing. Keaton Michael Scariff with first class standing. Taylor Joy Schenk with first class standing. Hannah Schultz, Almadina Lisk Serodio. Fan Wen Shi, Simran. Garishan Singh, Sikander Singh. Megan Elizabeth Skurnak, Ahmed Samia. Adam Mitchell Sobolak, Victoria Sparks. Peyton Emily Danielle St. Pierre with first class standing. Nathan Dominic Tavano. Lindsay Tiffany Taylor, Amanda Lynn Tieber with first class standing. Zachary Tonello, John Richard Turner with first class standing. Jaden Glenn Van Veen, Jiao Wang. Nicole Lucille Warren, Curtis Gregory Webb. Ethan Wilkinson, Brendan James Wilson. Yulun Wu, Yulin Zi, Evan Young, Jacqueline Maria Zalik, Saru Zhang, Yangjing Zhang,
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Bachelor of Arts with major.
Sabina Sheila Chand. Mitchell Chanfarani. Justin James DeHaan. Lucas Delorio. Shanika Firon. Kevin Joseph Hasty. Thank you. Chris Jaggernath. Melanie Kenesevic. Zach Mayrus. Corey Richard McGinnis. Nuck Win Win. Benjamin Palliser. No first name? No, no first name. Thank you. Philip Oyakonle. Stephanie Palazzi. Stephen Mario Prudenti. Rohan Maurice Quest. Thank you. Yusuf bin Tahari Raja. Jacob Riley William Salter. Holly Elizabeth Smith. Michael Samuel Soroka. Simran Kaur Uppal, Clarice May Vergara. Just one Amanda, and then okay. Leisha Zahn. Thank you.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Bachelor of Arts 3-year.
Julian Au, Winjen Bai. Javon Marlin Balfour, Aaron Blackwood. Oluwafunke Moyosore Brown. Andrew David Butera. Jingcheng Chen. Jake Vincent Dadazio. Hong Tao Dai. Taylor Delaire. James Sandro D'Annunzio with distinction. David Elvis. Jessica Lauren Flack. Srija Gore.
You can just say Mary Hodge. Mary Hodge, that's it? Yeah. Congratulations. Right on.
Jordan Quinn Hagopian. Mary Hodge. Glenn Hydini. Maggie Jane Hahn. Owen Christopher Hinch. Puyu Jing. Holly La Rochelle. Andy Kahn Lee. Lee He. Jungxing Lee. Paihan Lee. Shuisong Lee.
Yes.
Yan Liu. Liu Weijia. Tinji Liu. Dominic Alexander Lucciarelli.
Thank you. Oh, yes, the brothers. Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Andrew McTaggart. Connor McTaggart. One moment. Sarah Collins Mamed. Sarah Colin Mamed. Michelle Lee Martin. Jacob Austin Matheson. Karen Ann McMullen. Braden Mitchell Mills. Tanya Morera. Masha James Parsons. Christy Marie Phelps. Yihan Chin. Yijan Ren. Mitchell Sayers. Krista Danielle Sorrell. Thank you. Paul Stephen Shudlick. Cassandra Juliet Snow. Austin Strupp. Austin Strupp. Dima Talib. Michaela Hope Vaz. Taylor Ari Allen Wallace. Kiao Wang. Kiao Wang. Xinyao Wang. Hunam Carolyn Wong. Charisse Wong Kang. Wanting Ji. Piraveen Yogaratnam. Man Yuen. Hong Bin Zen.
Just the one? Yixing.
Yisheng Zhu.
Just one moment.
Madam Chancellor, I now have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Bachelor of Business Economics honors.
Abdus Samad Anjum. Daniel Carlo DeLuca. Robert Thomas Edward Farrell. Minjung Gong. Suyi Guang. Stephen E. Marino.
Yeah, you got it.
Andrew Ivan Jellick. Janet Hong Lee. Wenting Liu. Robert Mills. Ifani Okonkwo. Scott McEwen Scram with first class standing. Gigi Shi with first class standing. Mackenzie William Vandenhoek. Yelmer Vanden Hadelkamp. Kirthana Karathasuurdam. So sorry. Chunzi Wu. Yuhan Yu. Chuyu Zhang. Wen Zheng.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a Bachelor of Science honors.
Taylor Ervik. Shuyi Situ.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates to receive a certificate in teaching English as a subsequent foreign language.
Maha Bazi. Monica Anna Maria Novak.
That's it. That's it.
Madam Chancellor, whereas certain candidates who have successfully completed the course of studies prescribed by Senate are absent from this convocation for just cause, I request that you confer upon them their degrees and certificates in absentia.
I admit them to their degrees and certificates in absentia.
This it? Yes. Okay, there you go. The Senate of Brock University has recommended awarding a Dean's Medal to the graduate in each faculty with the highest standing in a first honors degree and a first pass degree. I take great pleasure in inviting Jessica Dirksen and Matthew Jonathan Mengia to accept these awards.
Good afternoon, and Tansei, Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the Platform Party, and of course, our graduates, families, and friends. My name is Chris Ventura, and as a member of the Brock University Alumni Association Board of Directors and an alumnus of the Political Science and History 2012 and Masters of Education 2017, I'm honored to be here today to congratulate each of you on receiving your degree this afternoon. So now, all of my baby badgers, you are all officially Brock University alumni. But what does that mean to be part of this community? It means today that you join a community of over 100,000 graduates who are willing to connect with you, work with you, mentor you, advocate for you in your personal growth and professional development. It means a network that you've built as a student will continue to grow and evolve as you shape the next chapter of your life. When you leave campus today, remember that the value of your degree is a reflection of the personal and professional successes of all of us. As an alumni, it is our collective responsibility and privilege to make a positive mark on the world in our own unique ways. Every success, no matter how big or small, contributes to the reputation of this university and in turn makes an impact on the value of every single degree at Brock, not just in the ones in the gym now, but every degree that came before you and every one that will come after you've left. As you start this new chapter of your lives, see yourselves as ambassadors of Brock University. Share your Brock experience with others and be sure to share your journey with us. We want to know what you've been up to, so please keep in touch. Share with your email with us. Follow us on social media, attend events, or drop by the alumni office if you're on campus to say hello. The Alumni Association is honored to welcome you today and every day hereafter. I invite all of you to join us outside in the Alumni Tent after today's ceremony, where you can get your first taste of being part of the Brock alumni community. Congratulations again, class of 2019, and welcome to the Brock University Alumni Association.
How does it feel? Great? Today you have participated in celebrating the graduation of our students, and as just mentioned, now our alumni. Each of our graduates have studied hard and completed the degree requirements here at Brock University. You have attended today's ceremony, but you've actually done much more. You have supported, assisted, and guided many of the students graduating today, and their success is your success. You have succeeded in contributing as well to the academic programming at this university and the professional accomplishments of our graduates before you, as well as post-secondary education in the Niagara region, and indeed across Canada and across this province. So let's take a moment just to recognize all those individuals here who've been a part of the support of the activities of today. It's in this spirit, then, that I say, together we have helped to achieve the dreams of those who assisted in establishing the university in 1964. Our students, our graduates, today have become alumni members, and I look forward to their involvement and contribution to the vitality of the university in the future. Again, I extend my sincere congratulations to each of you who've graduated here today. At this time, I'd also like to ask that we recognize and take a moment to acknowledge those individuals who've worked and volunteered in making this ceremony a very special occasion for us all. Many of those individuals you saw in the aisles, many of those individuals may have shown you to your seat and guided us through the procession. To them, let's say thank you as well. With such a great positive spirit here in the hall today, we might want this to go on for longer and longer, but I also recognize that many of you would hope to be able to start the celebration beyond these walls as well. So, in that consideration, we will be concluding today's ceremony by singing O Canada. When our national anthem is finished, will all family, supporters, and friends please remain seated until the graduates and the platform party have left the hall. We would like to also invite you to the reception that will be held in the alumni tent just located outside. And at this time, might I ask everyone to rise and join in singing O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
It's with great privilege and pride that I have the honor of declaring this convocation dismissed. Merci. It's Rich. Thank you.